North London is red. Manchester is red. Merseyside, that's whatever colour is versing Liverpool or Everton. But obviously, we're back. It's the football tragics. Morty, we'll talk about your team a little bit later. But on a personal level, mate, how are you doing?
It's been rough lately. We'll make that blatantly clear. It's been rough no matter what we're playing in. So it's been a
Well,
tough
obviously,
couple of
before we
weeks.
do move into obviously this week's rounds, we will obviously talk about the catch-up game, which was Fulham versus Chelsea, the anticipated debut for Joel Felix. Well, I'll throw it to you, Morty. Red card for Felix, Fulham 2, Chelsea 1. Talk to me about it. What did you make of this game? And I guess up until the red card, what did you make about Felix's debut?
To be fair, he wasn't playing terrible. I put that to Havertz being absolute. It was appalling that game, to be honest. But yeah, the Felix getting sent off. Check the history books. Probably the most expensive red card that we've seen in Premier League ever. Yes, it's 1.5 million in transfer fees and about 400k in wages. No, more than that, 600k or something. So, God, they're in. We'll get into some other stuff that's happening on at Chelsea, but I I don't know what to make of it. Like, it's just, there's the talk of Crawley Town being bought by Bitcoin investors, and I still think they might be run a bit better than Chelsea at the moment because it just seems like they're an absolute shambles. Like they're just a kid in a candy shop, and they've picked everything that doesn't mix. So, yeah, on a positive note, Fulham, they're playing well. Like, I had them to go down. I think Campo had them to go down as well. Aaron and you had them to stay up, but only just, I'm pretty sure. But they've surprised back. It's the first time they've just continually played week in, week out, solid football, and they're getting the job done. And yeah, they're knocking off teams like Chelsea. They've knocked off Liverpool. They've got points where we didn't see it possible, 10, 15 weeks ago. And yeah, there's not much else to say, really. Chelsea, it's kind of what we expect at this point. So,
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, it is a bit shambolic at the moment at Chelsea. Obviously, Joel Felix, I think, obviously, this red card emphasises even more so how good it was from Arsenal and United to step away from this deal. It's going to cost them 1.2 million in the 3 games he's suspended. A 6-month loan, he's suspended for a month of that. So, not so happy days if you're Chelsea, but like you said, he was levels above the rest of that team when he was on the pitch. So, Chelsea, you have a bit of good news coming up in the next game, but obviously for Fulham, you're running high, you're going to stay up. So well done. You fixed whatever you couldn't fix for the last couple of seasons. But moving on, it was Aston Villa 2 under Emery, Leeds 1. A result that, like we said on the last podcast, Unai's come in, he's turned the team around, he's got him starting to play some decent football. What did you make of this one, Morty? Did you think this was Leeds not being able to defend, Villa starting to kind of click under this new system, or how did you make of this game?
it's basically it. Emery's implementing his tactics. He's playing when he needs to do, but at the same time, I think you saw Villa, exact same thing happened at Villa last season. So I'll have to give Emery time. Can't judge him yet. Obviously, Jared done the same thing at that point. So reserve judgment there. And again, it is Leeds. So they're there or thereabouts in relegation zone. They're just scraping in by no fault of their own. They are somehow above the top 3. But yeah, I think it's a good result for Villa. I think they really didn't knuckle on those clean sheets, though. I mean, conceding to Leeds, who have literally scored maybe 1 goal. There's only goal in the last 5 matches, probably. So, yeah. Oh, sorry, they drew all.
Yeah, like you said. Like you said, for Leeds, they are always above that relegation. And again, they're only 2 points clear of last place after some of those teams picked up points this week. And I'm looking at this bottom from 14th down to 20th at the moment. And in the last 5 games, all of them have played combined. There's only been, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins. So it's going to be a scrap fest. You need to pick up points when you're playing lower teams because 1 or 2 losses or 1 or 2 wins for a Southampton, for an Everton, and you'll find yourself in relegation. But I know you've been wanting to talk about this one, Morty, because you love that you can bring up the controversy. So Manchester's red, Manchester United 2, Manchester City 1. I'll throw it away to you because I know if I talk, you're going to bring up more questions. So I'll let you talk, then you can ask me the questions, and I'll go from there.
As a precedent, I'll sit here and say United probably actually did deserve the win. I'll admit that one. As much as I hate it, there's no real good result for a Liverpool fan in this match, but you did deserve the win. But that goal, that is just absolutely appalling that got called. Like, I don't know. If you've ever played a game of football in your life, you know that's offside. All right. Now, I love bringing up Liverpool, but if you watch a Liverpool game, Trent got called offside for watching a ball that was 10 meters away roll out. And I don't understand how that correlates because that's the same situation as this.
You're also in the FA Cup because the cameras didn't have enough footage on VAR, so.
And we're talking about teams that had the VAR and they didn't even check for offsides in other matches. So we survived hundreds of years without these bloody VAR cameras, and the linesman's done his job. I don't understand where this went wrong. I don't know who's up and there going. Yep, that's. Have you seen the photos where Rashford's cut out?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm gonna jump in with 2 things here because the first one, VAR actually couldn't get involved in this call. So the call went down to it was a referee's judgment and a linesman's judgment. So VAR couldn't overturn the call. That's what's come out over the last couple of days. So obviously the refs made it clear, so it's not a clear and obvious error. So again, I'm not condoning it. I 100% thought it was going to be offside. I said that in our inbox on the night, but for me, this just shows that there's more greys around this rule that just doesn't work because, yes, I've seen the image where Rashford's cut out, but then that also doesn't take into perception that the ball was probably moving 10 times what that picture was showing. So, yes, I thought it was offside.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was offside, but you know what? I don't really care because it's Manchester City, it's United. Who gives a shit? But
look,
I think, like you said, VAR's the issue. Go for it.
No, I just point out these calls, right, are getting more and more prevalent every season we watch. All right, bringing up Liverpool again, but Man City, the Rodri handball last season, won them the title. If we look back at this season and Arsenal have bottled the last 2 games and United come home strong, that's what won them the title. Like the Premier League getting closer and closer year on year. I mean, other than the jumps ahead that City made over the past couple of years, progressively everyone else is catching up. Now, whether that may be or whatnot, whoever's fault that may be, but it's going to get to a point where VAR's going to start costing people titles, and it's just getting shambolic because at worst it could relegate someone, and that's arguably even worse because that's whole amount of careers that's just done because some bloke in the room hasn't played football and just I know if I'm field referee discretion, I didn't know that, but at the same time, it's of the football opinion. Everyone's looking at it and go, okay, well VAR probably did something there. If that's what everyone goes to, then that's just the issue with it right now. They need to think. Honestly, there's no point in it. Like, just scrap it. We don't even have it in all competitions yet. I don't know. I don't know where to go with it because it just keeps costing people.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting one. Now, I mean, has it got some calls correct? Yes. Has it caused more drama? Yes. So it's definitely that tight balance. Maybe they need to bring in an NRL rule and maybe not one challenge, but if you think something's offside, if you think something's a foul, maybe you get one challenge a half where you get to go, hey, VAR, look at it. And then other than that, it only looks at stuff that happens in the box. Maybe that's the way that we've got to go. But for me, obviously, I think back to we're now playing Barcelona in the Europa League. because VAR's turned around and said United should have had a penalty and didn't get a penalty against Real Sociedad. So I think over the balance of the season, these things do even up. But like you said, if this happens in Matchday 38 and you're relegated or you lose a title because of it, then you're going to be blowing up. But Manchester's red. That's all I'm going to say. Casemiro was brilliant. We do, like you said, United are back. They're back in the title race. Whether we think they can win it, whether we don't think they can win it, they're now probably Arsenal's biggest threat, and they play Arsenal on Monday. So it could go either way. Morty, I'm going to ask you, if you had to pick a team right now, United, City, Arsenal, who would you say is going to take out this title?
Newcastle.
And that's such a Liverpool answer, so we'll move on to the next game. It was a team that was ripped off by Liverpool in the FA Cup. It's Wolves 1, West Ham 0. A massive win by Wolves. Another very, very disappointing result for West Ham. It probably puts one of the final nails in the coffin for David Moyes at this club. They sit in relegation. They're equal last on points, only ahead on goal difference. What are your thoughts on this one, Morty? Is it time for David Moyes to depart West Ham, or is it time for him to get COVID again so he can coach from a monitor?
I've heard some whispers that it could be an absolute shambolic affair. Moyes to Everton. Could you imagine? Matchday 38.
Oh, boy.
Moyes scraps a win. West Ham go down. But no, regardless, I think Moyes, go on another holiday for 2 months. Go Zoom in your meetings and Zoom in your, managerial role from the sideline. That's what turned it around last time. And just don't know. Like, you can't even put a point on what's gone wrong for West Ham because they haven't really lost much. They've gained a whole lot and they've gained some great talent, but they're just not, it's not working whatsoever. Kind of like Chelsea, but on a small scale. Just the whole lot. Well, it is like they haven't brought anyone in that's been terrible. They're not West Ham players that they were successful last year with. So yeah, there's a lot going wrong, and they have a good enough team to go out there, park the bus, and we should be getting points to not be in this relegation battle right now. But they're not. They're just faltering at everything. So yeah. Exhibit A, Wolves can't even score half the time.
That's true. Wolves definitely struggle to score, and obviously West Ham are in that relegation. But you know what? I'm going to throw another theory out there, and you're going to like this theory because it's a team coming up that we're about to talk about. It's Nottingham Forest 2, Leicester 0. What about Brendan Rodgers to Everton, or Brendan Rodgers to West Ham, someone else to Everton, and we just move around all the relegation coaches. So, Morty, is it time? They were dominated in this game. 15 shots to 6, 5 shots on target to 1. They did have possession, but if you're not scoring goals, possession means nothing. Is Rodgers' time finally done and dusted? Or is this one of those things where we say he's going to get the sack and they go and win 4 games straight after it?
No, they won't even get that many games. They won't win another 4 games this season. James Maddison, they'll be absolutely lucky to keep him any longer than the next window, and just get him out. Send him back to the Scottish League. We can forget about him. He just does nothing over there, and leave him there because he's just the blight. Like, he doesn't do anything well. He doesn't do anything successful, and he just like a thorn in your side that you just want to throw something at because he's got a head that you just want to punch, and he's just, I don't know. And they're just playing shit football. Like, there's nothing wrong with their squad. They've signed, they've strengthened. Yeah, again, don't know whether they haven't signed Leicester City players or they've just signed some names, but they're not. They haven't signed bad players. They've just fallen off a cliff.
100%. Now, obviously, a good result for Nottingham. It does put them a little bit clearer of the relegation. They have played a game in hand, but at this point of the season, already 19 games in, for anywhere from, I wasn't going to say 10th because Chelsea's sitting in 10th, but from 10th down, any point you can pick up now is probably going to be crucial in that relegation race because I don't see many points being picked up from that bottom half over the next 18, 19 games, depending on how many they've played. But Morty, it's that time of the episode where I get to sit back and laugh. You get to go for a little bit of depression because my team is flying at the moment, and the Flying Birds, Brighton 3, have knocked off your team, Liverpool. Talk to me about it, mate. Where did it go wrong? Where did the game go wrong? Where's the season gone? And mate, we talk about curses. Is Klopp's 70-year curse? Like, is this just happening again?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes because it looks like Pep Linders is trying to implement something, and Klopp's just I don't know. I don't know. They don't look like they're playing the same sort of football that we have had success with, but at the same time, no one's making themselves look any better because Nunez misses 100 chances. Salah just isn't playing as confident as he once was. Like, 2 years ago, this bloke and Mane were ready to wrangle each other for like, they had one had 2 goals, one had 1. We were up 4-0 and they still want to kill each other. Salah doesn't even look like he's like, that angry about losing. So it's a rough ride. I mean, again, our midfield is just not there. Like, I think the way we are setting out to play isn't being beneficial at all. Like, we've got no one coming back in defence, and like, you've got Trent. Right, we can all sit there and laugh at his defending ability, but not once was he asked to defend as much as he has. Any other season he's played in up until now, that all of a sudden we expect him to do this. Yes, I get he's a right back. He should be doing better than what he is, but when he's as good as he is at what he does, why do we supplement someone else? Like, why do we not have someone else there to let Trent do his thing? If we don't have, it's not like we have KDB in the middle. All right, that our midfield should be based around the fact that our wing backs in Robertson and Trent can get forward. But all of a sudden, we've got Elliott playing midfield, we've got Carvalho, we've got all these players that just aren't Henderson, aren't Wijnaldum, aren't Fabinho. Fabinho's there, but you look forward. Matip's gone for a walkabout. Trent's halfway up the field. Robertson's, gone walkabout too. At that one point, we had Gomez and Fabinho and everyone else up the pitch. No shit, we're going to get counted. Everyone, it's like we want to throw everyone forward now. It's not. It doesn't work like that. Trent's getting called out because he's like, well, he's probably getting told by Klopp, I want you doing this, and then all of a sudden, the centre back's gone for a run. Like, you get it and laugh when it works. It's great, but why? Why is he doing it? Because it's frustrating. It's a hard watch. Credit to Brighton. Like, they're doing well. Solly March has appeared for his one moment of form every year. He doesn't consistently do it for an entire season, so suck on that one. But I don't know. Like, we need some midfielders. I don't know what we do for the rest. I don't know what we're going to do for next, because we signed Gakpo. Great, we've got all these attacking options, but it means Firmino's gone next window, and I'm going to cry because that bloke does more defending than half our squad. Might as well probably throw him in centre back because at least he'll stay there. That's up, yeah.
I tell you what, I came onto this podcast thinking the Manchester Derby was going to be my favourite part of the podcast, but listening to that has probably topped how excited I was when we won the Derby. But yeah, obviously for Liverpool, it's all fallen the shadows this season. We all expected them to be there competing. I'm pretty sure I had them to win the title, so it's definitely an interesting one. Now, Brighton, they're flying. So if you're a Chelsea fan, you're probably excited that maybe Potter can turn your club into this with a budget. But how much control he has at Chelsea, I don't know, because this Brighton side, they don't have the big names. They don't have the big transfer windows, but they're absolutely flying at the moment. And if you want some positive news, Morty, you get to play Chelsea next, but then you get to play Brighton in the FA Cup. So I don't know if it's a positive or a negative thing if they're going to do you again. But moving on to a team that you had getting relegated, versus the team I think we'd both be happy if they did get relegated. It's Everton 1, James Ward-Prowse 2, or should I say Southampton. They're still last. They're still rock bottom, but they are now equal on points with the two teams above them. Is this credit to Southampton for this result, or is it just shit versus shit and one team went a bit harder than the other?
This is throwing shit at a wall and hoping something sticks, and Ward-Prowse will be able to hit that shit from about 40 yards out. So they're lucky they have him. I'd hate to see where they would be without James Ward-Prowse right now, because they're still shambolic, they're still useless, and just because you come up against useless and manage to score a 40-yard banger does not make the fact that they're still coming anywhere else other than dead last, because they are shit. And Everton are just as shit, but they're shit as each other. It's the only saving grace of Liverpool season is the fact that Everton could be possibly going down with a brand new stadium, and that is glory to my ears, because that's freaking hilarious. And yeah, there's not much more I hate than Everton. So Southampton win, but it's just doom and gloom. Let's be real. I think Southampton. They signed the Orsic. Good job. You signed a FIFA merchant. Good job. Well done. It will do nothing, and it'd be enjoyable to watch him in the Championship if he even comes at that point. So that's enough.
Well, we'll clip that call and we'll see if you are right at the end of the year if they are going down. But obviously, like you said, it was a scrap. Now, it wasn't pretty. James Ward-Prowse had to step up, and man, if there's one keeper that you can score a free kick against from that far, it's probably Pickford, because his arms are so small. So I think if Everton were to get relegated, Pickford was to go down. He knew. He kicked the post. He knew it was going in as soon as there was a foul.
Exactly what happened.
But it's a great result for Southampton. Like I said, you're not going to beat a lot of these big teams. They went out, they beat City in the Cup. They've now come in and they've won this. And this is the games they need to win if they are somehow going to survive this year. But moving on to a team that is high-flying, I'm not too sure what's happening to their main striker. Is he going to get suspended? Is he going to get another bet win? I don't know. But it's Brentford 2, Bournemouth 0. I guess for me, this is probably a result I expected. Ivan Toney opened up the scoring in the 39th minute from the penalty spot. The game was sealed in the 75th by Jensen. They dominated Bournemouth. They had the shots. They had equal possession. Again, a Bournemouth side that they've come into the Premier League. They probably had high expectations. They didn't sign these massive players, and now they're sitting there and they're in a dog scrap for relegation now. This is me. I'll get your opinion, but if I had to look at that bottom 5 or 6, Bournemouth are probably my favourites to come dead last at the point of the season. What are your thoughts on that, and what are your thoughts on the game?
Brentford, they're still playing good football. Does it count if Tony now puts money on Brentford to go down, and they end up going down once he's been locked up for all these charges? Do you reckon they'll let him play that bet? But Bournemouth, yeah, look, they're not looking great. They don't have any saving grace. They haven't signed anyone. The transfer window is approaching to shut, I'm pretty sure. There's not long left, and they haven't been linked with anyone. I haven't seen nothing. And yeah, actually, we've got some more Liverpool players probably offload to them. They'll give us some money for them. That's gone well in the past. So,
well, I mean, you need the money so you can offer to buy James Ward-Prowse if they go down to the Championship, because I mean, you need a midfielder. He is a midfielder, and just win some free kicks and you're good to go.
Exactly. So, yeah, it's about it for there. Let's get into the next one.
Well, obviously, if you are a Chelsea fan, it has been rough, but you did get a result in this game. It was Chelsea 1, Crystal Palace 0. I can't say this was the most convincing game by Chelsea, but given how they're playing, given the way they've been copying result after result, this probably feels like a massive weight off the shoulders. And again, he was that man, Kai Havertz, who's had an absolute stinker the week before, comes out, scores the winner in the 64th minute. I don't know what to say here. They were even with Palace. They had possession, but the shots were even. The shots on target were even. It was a real scrap fest, and I don't want to make jokes because Aaron's not here, but Morty, this felt like that mid-table battle. These two mid-table teams going at it. Who can stay in that top 10? Who can fall to the bottom half? Like, what do you make of Chelsea? They've gone out and they've signed players. They've just signed another player to a 7-year deal for probably $50 million more than what he's worth. Is it the owner? Is it the coach dressing their need players? Is it the owner going, holy shit, we're going to get relegated. Let's sign. Let's make some money. What are your thoughts on Chelsea at the moment in this result?
I can't laugh at the mid-table scrap because Liverpool v Chelsea this week is definition of mid-table scrap, and I've only got myself to blame for that. But I don't know where Chelsea are looking because they are just signing whatever comes across their table. It's like he just sits there and refreshes Instagram or Twitter or whatever it may be, and go, "Oh, this bloke looks funny. That's got enough retweets. I could sell some jerseys with that one." I t- it's like they forgot. Like they've got Nkunku coming. How many of these attackers do they think they're going to be able to play? Like it's not going to work. Like City make it work, and like you see Foden and Mahrez rotate in and out. What are they going to do? Have Nkunku, Havertz, Aubameyang? Can't even say his Midrick. What's his name? Midrick, whatever it may be. The Arsenal fan.
Just say Midrick overpriced. Let's just call him Midrick overpriced.
Midrick overpriced. And God knows how many other. Chilwell. He's basically their second striker too. I don't know what are they going to do? And they need to play five at the back too because that's how their defense works. They've got a 40-year-old Thiago Silva and a left back that doesn't want to be a left back and a right back that is basically a right winger. So, they've got these players out injured. They can sit there and say, "Oh, yeah, Kante to come back," but Kante's aging too. It's almost gone a season now, and Kante hasn't been fully fit for more than 2 weeks in a row almost, and he's not going to be that saving grace that can come back and hold that squad together. And because he's a clean-up merchant, and he needs someone else next to him to be still playing that ball through the attack. Yeah, they've got the win. That's all they can ask for at this point. It's where they need to be.
Well, you know what? Like you said, it's all they can ask for, Morty. It's a real dogfight this weekend because in a positive light, the winner of this game gets to move into equals 7th if the teams above them lose. So it's an absolute cracking game coming up, Chelsea versus Liverpool. But who knows what's going to happen? Who knows if a coach might lose their job at the end of it? I really don't know the way both teams are playing. I don't think it's going to happen, but it's a very high possibility. So let's move on to a team that they're getting results. They're not flying as quick and as high as they were before the World Cup, but it's Newcastle 1, Fulham 0. Newcastle get the result in the 89th minute thanks to a goal from Isak. Again, they dominated Fulham. Fulham had 0 shots on target. I think they had 5 shots all game where Newcastle had 20 shots, and that's not including probably the 10 or 15 that got blocked by a defender. So it was an absolute smash-in. They deserved this result, but this was a team that was scoring for fun. They've now come back from the World Cup. They've slipped up a few times. They're struggling to score goals now. Do you think this is just kind of a World Cup hangover given that momentum has stopped? And do you think they're going to give it a crack? Or do you think realistically there's a chance they could drop out of this top 4? Their closest rivals at the moment being Tottenham, who are 5 points below them.
It's hard to say because they're currently third. Yes, the two above them and United have got games in hand, but they're there. They're right there. Like, no one's talking about the fact that they are right there. They're not that far away. Like, if you had told me we're this far into the season and they're 1 point behind Man City, like this is the team that were avoiding relegation last season. So they know how to scrap wins. They're going to scrap these wins, and if they continually get these 3 points, you look at you get City v Arsenal. That game goes the wrong way. United drop a point here. Tottenham, they're already on a downward spiral. Don't worry about them. They're there. They're still going to be there, and they're coming for it. Between the last 5 weeks, and if Newcastle have to win the last 5 games to do it, they're the team I'll put it on because they'll have the least amount of pressure on. What are they going to say? Well, we almost got relegated last year. The fact that we're playing top 4 is enough for us. Yeah, imagine
Come on,
when
man.
they
We, we,
actually
we
start.
sa- we sacked 2 managers last year, so we're almost as bad.
Nah, I credit to them. They're doing it. They're doing it well. They're doing it right. But it's going to be a scary sight because they haven't even delved into their war chest yet. If Chelsea can go around throwing that kind of money, and you just God knows how much Newcastle are going to have to just go nuts.
100%. And I think the scariest thing is we talk, and I just fell into it then until I looked at it. We talk about Newcastle's attack, but they have the best defense in the Premier League. They've only conceded 11 goals all season. So that's an unbelievable turnaround. They've conceded less goals than the champions and the leading pack. That like Arsenal's conceded 3 more goals, City's conceded 4. We've even conceded 10 more goals. Like it's unbelievable how good this team is going. So, like you said, the sky's the limit. If they open up this war chest, man, if they open up this war chest, it's a scary time to be a Premier League fan. It's not a Newcastle fan, but we'll move on. The team that's flying, it's finally happened. It's a North London derby, just like Manchester. North London is red. The whole Premier League is red at the moment. Let's be honest. It's Tottenham 0, Arsenal 2. Probably one of the very few games I remember in a very long time where a North London derby team that was at home lost the derby, but in pure Spurs fashion, they've dropped the bottle. They had a chance to put pressure on the top 4, and they fucked it. Morty, I know you love Tottenham. You love it. You absolutely adore them. But talk to me, mate. What's going wrong for Tottenham? And is the title now Arsenal's to lose? They are, like we said, 8 points clear of City, 9 points clear of United, and both Uniteds. Is it their title to lose? And do you think Arsenal are going to do it?
It's their title to lose because Liverpool we're less points ahead of City, but when we bottled our one after Christmas, and that was our title to lose apparently then. So it's your title to lose now, Arsenal. The pressure's completely on you. You're doing well. I won't say that it's not, but how good was Richarlison crying at the end? An absolute starlet. Like that's the things you love to see. Just him throwing his little tantrum. You know, Tottenham fans going to kick players and it's an absolute just disgrace. Ramsdale winding them up, peak. Ramsdale does it right. Martinez probably takes it too far, but you still love to see it. So quite hilarious. Lloris, go hang up the boots, mate. Get back on the wines. Go retire. Go find a home in the south of France. Everyone's forgotten about you already. Go out on some sort of dignity because it's quickly falling apart, like week in, week out now. There's even rumours that, he might get dropped for, who's the next bloke they got there? I can't remember who else they
It
signed.
can't
But
be any good, so it's not too sure.
yeah, but it's inexcusable almost. Like it's consistently happening. Like keepers make errors, sure. I won't deny that. But Lloris is just he doesn't look safe at all. So quite hilarious. Arsenal, the pressure's on, and Tottenham, we'll see you in ninth soon because you can take that position off us. We might only climb to 5th or 6th, but Tottenham can definitely fall to there.
Well, I will say, obviously, we've both been there with goalkeeper howlers and goalkeepers errors. So Tottenham, yes, we do know how you feel after that absolute howler, but obviously, again, they've crumbled, but they are sitting in 5th place. So we can laugh all we want about a goalkeeper error. We can laugh all we want about this team dropping points, but they're sitting in 5th. So, mate, I'll ask you one more question. Harry Kane. Let's talk about Harry Kane real quickly, 30 seconds. They don't make Champions League. Does Harry Kane move? Does a team do Tottenham, because Harry Kane's obviously stalling, he's not signing a new contract. Do Tottenham go, shit, he was worth 150, we didn't take it. If someone offers us 80 or 100, let's take it. Let's cut our losses. Let's move on.
Newcastle will get Kane.
You know what? We're gonna stop it there. I'm gonna stop the episode right there. We're just gonna leave that there. We'll unpack it if it happens, because I don't want you to give a reason. I don't want you to give an excuse. So we're gonna stop it there. I wish you said United because then you would have had Newcastle and Manchester United as an option, but you've gone Newcastle. Morty, we'll stop it there. We'll cut it there. It's the round preview. Obviously, there is games coming thick and fast. I know United play again tomorrow. City play Tottenham tomorrow. So on Friday. So two absolute
Friday.
cracking games as catch-ups. You guys play Chelsea in this week coming up. So before we finish off, give me your prediction. Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, United. 2 quick prediction, and then we'll wrap up this episode.
Liverpool, Chelsea. I'm going to scratch it on and go 2-1 Liverpool. Only because neither of us can defend. And we also can't finish half our chances. So there'll be about 25 shots each. And somehow we'll scrap 2 in and they'll probably get a jammy little thing in. And then Arsenal, United. I genuinely think this could end up in a 1-1 draw. I think Arsenal at home just go, you know what? We just need to hold on. Don't give away any points. 1-1 each. I think they'll be happy with that. So we'll go from that.
Well, I am going to sit on the fence with both games because I'd love to say United are going to win, but like you said, that draw, the way both teams are playing, it's going to be interesting. Now, I might reserve my judgment. I might change my judgment. I'm sticking with a draw, 1-1 United Arsenal, purely because if Casemiro gets yellow carded tomorrow, Casemiro doesn't play in this game. Now, if he plays, I'm going to say 2-1 United. If he doesn't play, I think we're going to chuck about 17 players in defense and we're going to hope that we hold him out. So I'm going to go 1-1, but if Casemiro plays, I'm going to go a 2-1 win. On the flip side, Chelsea, Liverpool. I hope they both lose. Let's just put that out there. But I'm going to lock in a 2-2 draw. I think there's going to be goals. Like you said, neither team can hold a clean sheet. Neither team can defend. Salah will get on the score sheet. Felix won't get on the score sheet. So I'm going to say maybe a Havertz, maybe an Aubameyang off the bench, maybe something like that. I'm not too sure. I don't know if that new signing will play. If he plays, there's all a massive chance that he does get on the score sheet. But Morty, we're hitting 38 minutes, so we're going to wrap it up there, mate. Thank you for joining me. I'm telling you, I was a United fan. I'm in your position. I've been there before. Don't worry, mate. It will get better. I hope not, but it will get better. So thank you for joining me, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, mate.
Peace.